Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realists with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with the trifecta in place here to talk about episode 4 and 5 of Love Island UK season 11, episodes 4 and 5, with me, Miss TJoy. How are you doing, Miss TJoy? And are you ready to talk about this carnage?
I am good. I am so ready. I'm so ready. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
And now, Mika, we haven't talked in a couple of days now. We haven't seen you since the bombshells started bombing. Like this, I don't know. This season started off pretty good so far. I wasn't sure how great it was going to be. I think the last time we talked was when Joey was introduced, and that was pretty much the last time we talked. So, how has it been for you since? And how are you feeling today? Brief overview.
I was concerned. But I'm good. I'm good now. I was very concerned, actually.
Yeah.
Very,
Well, okay. At the end of episode 5,
concerned they were going to ruin their show.
Yeah.
I definitely was worried.
Yeah.
But okay, before we got to that point, though, what was your feelings about how things have progressed in the season since we haven't talked to you about the last couple episodes?
I need some of these women to be effing for real.
What does that mean? What does being effing for real mean?
Like I'm like, it's day 2.
Early days. 3. It's early days. Why are you crying?
Why are we crying over these men? And I understand men choose, but still, there is absolutely no, like, week 2, I can understand. Week 2, I would absolutely like stand on business that crying is called for, but 2 days in?
Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit devil's advocate here. Now, I do agree with you, but just looking at the other side, it is a high pressure situation. You're on camera. You don't want to be embarrassed. And so all of these might be playing into why they're being emotionally triggered so easily. So I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway for the fact that they are acting overly emotional because it's such a high pressure situation and they've never experienced being in a villa before where they're competing for men. They're probably all used to getting whatever guy that they want and having it wrapped around their finger. And like, this is just completely new territory for them.
Yeah.
I feel like the only person who had the right level of emotions for what was going on was me.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm upset.
When she teared up, I understood it. When she was like stoic, like, okay, it is what it is, I understood it. Like some of these other women, I'm just like, I need you guys to bitch up, man up, whichever up they need to
get up.
Stop playing the victim. Just stop playing the victim. Like even when Mimi was having her moment, she didn't want anybody to make a big deal out of it. No. It's just the emotion overcame her, but she was okay. She was able to like just give me a minute. I can take care of it myself. I can self-regulate my emotions. I just have to have a minute. Everybody has a minute. But it's like these people are like,
when I get a press release that is like 3 or 4 pages of one conversation.
Because that's the other day I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not reading this.
That's what was happening. They were sending. I'm like, this is one whole fucking scene.
Oh, I thought you were telling me the whole show. That's why I didn't look at it. I was
that's
like,
what they sent me. I was like, what? I mean, I asked for tea, but damn.
Haley says one of my best girlfriends tell me to pick your pussy up, and that does the trick for me.
That's right, Haley. Hello.
Haley is here. Yes. Excited to have both Miss TJoy and Tamika here today. Rashay is joining us as well.
Hey,
Haley is not watching tonight's episode, but is excited to hear what we have to say about Harriet from last night.
Ooh, that Harriet chat.
And yes, Jessica, the producers are listening. We will be definitely talking about that in about an hour or so. Miss T is here. Hi, Miss T. Rachel is joining us.
Hey, Rachel.
Jessica says, I know, Tamika, like, I was like, how many pages are on there about Kieran and
I almost cut it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I almost sliced and diced it,
you
but
should have edited.
I was like, I don't have no time for this. Like, I couldn't think this morning. I haven't slept, so I was like, I couldn't even think where to cut. But, woo, Jesus.
So wait, so what happened yesterday? We're starting off with after Uma's been introduced, correct? And so, Miss TJoy?
Uma. Yes, Uma.
Yeah.
They are. We're starting off. They're in the hideout.
Okay.
Sitting down, popping
Okay,
champagne.
so Uma coming in at the end of the previous episode, strutting up and giving these kisses to all these men. And then, whispering, like, I'll see you later to Joey. Then taking Mr. Io and walking him into the hideaway. Mm-hmm. That is how you make an entrance.
Yes.
And I was very impressed by the boldness of this Miss Uma actions. Mm-hmm. Mika, how'd you feel about this as a bombshell? Or her
I thought it was, I mean,
I know what you're going to say, but yes. Go.
She is a great bombshell.
Yes.
As it is. I think I even put a bomb over her picture when they sent me the press release, like, oh, she's coming into the bill. I was like, oh, damn. She's like.
I mean, her picture is not as beautiful as she is in real life. Like, her picture does not do her justice at all.
Her movement.
Yes. The way those hips sway.
Mm-hmm. She just came in with the right energy. She wasn't afraid, because I would be like, oh my God, I got to kiss 6 guys right now. Like, I don't even want to kiss all 6 guys.
And the girls are looking at me. I might have been like, yeah.
And then to me, she chose the right 2 guys to take to the hideaway, personally. Like, if you're going to choose, I would take Io and Joey Essex. What pissed me off was Io's response.
Well, I think we might be learning that.
And she was bombing. Like, he is a man. Like, you know what I mean? It's early days. Like, I felt for Mimi, but I also understood his response. I didn't.
This had nothing to do with Mimi. This had to do with I saw it as like, oh, she's his type. So then, what were you doing prior to this?
I'm worried that Io might be a bit more of a charmer ladies man, that we thought he was being more sincere. Exactly. And he may be playing a little bit more of a game.
That is exactly it.
Is fine, but I don't want you to be playing a game with Miss Mimi.
Exactly.
I'm not enjoying that. Yes, you can be excited about the new bombshell, but like, don't be acting at 20 minutes before that you want to sleep in that bed with this person, and you're really amazing, and like, I love getting to know you, and like having these conversations that seemed to all of us, and probably including Mimi, very genuine, and that like, oh, maybe there's like a real spark and a real connection there. Yep. And so it makes me worried that it was all a bit of an act, and he was just saying what he needed to say.
Yeah, that's basically what turned me off from him, because I was like, oh, I kind of believe him. I really do think like he means
like these romantic, sensual kisses that he's giving her. Like,
woo, those kisses.
That's misleading. Those kisses were misleading.
Yep.
Okay. I just have to give one little thing from a player guy friend that I have, and he would say like, if I don't want a girl to be into me, I don't make love to her. It's not going to be slow and sensual and movement and like romantic. He's like, I'm not going to be romantic at all. If I'm just going to sleep with her and I don't want anything more from her, I'm really just going to fuck her. And so he was not kissing her like somebody he was just going to be messing around with and going to bounce around to the next person. He, in my opinion, was kissing her like somebody that he wanted to form a connection with.
He wanted to form a connection with, that he true, like someone who was his type, that he could see himself building something with. That's what pissed me off. And yes, I agree with that. Like that's why right now my thing is, unless you are asking me out on an actual date and we're going on actual date, I don't want to fucking hear from you.
Tell them to me.
Yeah, I was sad for Mimi though, because it's just like yes, it's early days, so she can't be too upset about it. I get that, which is also frustrating. But from what we saw, we understood why she might have felt a connection because he was connecting with her. Mm-hmm. He was connecting with her, and it's really makes me
it was absolutely, it pissed me off so much, and it literally had nothing to do with Mimi. It was everything to do with him, everything to do with his actions. Because my whole thing is you did not take care of her, which tells me you're playing a game. Which fine, but now I don't like you.
Yeah, I'm like not rooting for you now.
No, I'm not rooting,
even though your face is very cute.
Yeah,
he is cute. He is cute.
He's so cute.
I ain't gonna lie, he cute.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So Rachel says my issue with Io is that he can't be calm. It's like he's never been around a pretty woman before. Well, yeah, like I think a lot of like the other recappers are just like, what's this man? Like, he's so good looking. He's a footballer. Like, isn't he used to be around pretty women? Like he does not have any chill around like these bombshells. It's quite wild.
But it was just like a switch. Like he was like calm, cool, and collected, which is again like playing a game. He was calm, cool, and collected and calculated with Mimi, and with Uma. Oh, my mind's blown. No, she's your type, and you're going to pursue her in a way that and to be fair, they're both Leos.
Yes, I have to say, someone posted, I'll give credit to them because I took a picture of some charts. So Astrology Island did post, so I don't know 100% if these are correct, but Leos would be Io and Uma, which would make a sense because at one point in this episode, he does say, I feel like she's a bit of me. I feel like she has this fiery energy. He might even have said fiery, or he said something like dynamic, something that was very fire Leo-esque, and was saying that Mimi is just really calm and like really sweet.
Like she
and I think like that's why he was trying to be calm.
Yeah,
he's trying to match her energy.
He was saying that like Mimi is it. Like he could see that she was like had the it factor, but Uma was a level over that because she was closer to like his energy.
Well, and also, like, because we're looking at just their sun sign here, Mimi's a Pisces, and we were saying that, like, oh, this energetically might not work out. Like, it's working right now, what we're seeing, with these sensual kisses, but it may not be something that's going to be lasting for him, which is kind of what we're seeing right now, is that he likes this fiery energy. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back to Mimi. I don't know if that's ever going to work out. But if I were to look astrologically, we said it. We're like, well, fire and water, not the best pairing.
Yeah.
Like if it works, it'll work for a bit, but eventually it might boil over. So just so we know, just to let everybody know what this Astrology Island has said, Nicole is an Aries. And so Nicole has dealings with Kieran, who's a Capricorn. Now, I would not personally put Aries, which is fire, and Capricorn with his earth together. Not ideal partnership, I would say. Kieran's like Capricorn is not going to love that fiery energy from an impulsive Aries. Like that might irritate him eventually, which it probably will. We'll see. For the Tauruses, we have Harriet and Jess. So Harriet and Kieran, so Taurus and Capricorn, that would have been a better duo. And so it's interesting that he was kissing Harriet in bed. We'll find this out soon. Taurus are known to be the best kissers in the zodiac. And so they would be pretty decent together astrologically.
But she's so annoying though.
She's so unevolved. She's so
unevolved. What is she, 24? Come on.
Even he can't take it. And he's 21. Yeah. He can't even take her. Like, it's crazy.
She definitely leans into that line that we have, she's ready.
She might be close to the Gemini or something. Like,
or Aries.
Maybe her Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury and Aries could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find more information about her, I'll see if I can pull up more of her chart.
I think Astrology Island has some of their full charts. So maybe if you swipe, you'll see it.
Oh, I only took a picture of this front page. So Jess is a Taurus as well, and she's kind of partnered up with Ronnie, who's a Cancer. That's actually a very good duo.
Yeah.
But that also means that's a very good duo for Harriet.
Yeah.
So interesting how things might be playing out at the end of these next 2 episodes. Yeah. And then Virgo-wise, we have Samantha and Joey. So Virgo is Earth, Joey's a Leo. I don't think that's going to work too well.
I mean, they're also adjacent signs, but that being said, but also we see, I think that's why Mimi and Jess get along really well.
100%.
Because like my daughter is a Pisces as well, and you know, she's like, she and I, whereas both of my boys are fire
Aries,
signs.
Yeah.
One's Aries and one's a Sag. So
just saying, it's like also like I'm Aquarius, which is air, and my mom's Cancer, but my brother's a Taurus, and they get along with thick as thieves, and I'm like, you know, I always have something to say. I'm like, look. Sorry, but they get along swimmingly. You know what I mean? Like they're a lot more compatible in that way.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Moonveer and Patsy are kind of talking. And so Moonveer is an Aquarius, and then Sagittarius is what Patsy is. And those are really good signs to work together. So, so far, like how the signs have been playing out, and this is just their sun sign, has been quite accurate. And it's nice when you see it play out really clearly, so quickly.
I wonder if they actually did this on purpose. We're going to get there. I don't want to say it now, but I wonder if they did it on purpose, because when I tell you what Omar is, you guys are going to be like, I really wonder why. I wonder if they did it on purpose.
Okay,
like,
I'm excited. Okay, we'll be getting there. So Jessica says that Io did a lot of things throughout the last 2 episodes that made her side-eye him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, what's happening, Io? Like, we were all on your side, and why do you want to throw that away?
Throw it away.
Throw it away for.
I mean, I think he recognized it. He's like, I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the bad guy, and I'm like, you're not going to be the bad guy if you're honest,
right?
But you weren't being honest.
Yeah. Rachel says, I saw an article going around that Io's celebrity crushes are Zendaya and Tyla, so Uma definitely looks closer to that.
Oh yeah, I'm not shocked. Absolutely not shocked.
I mean,
and they're both Nigerian, right? So now
all 3, I think, are Nigerian.
Okay,
mixed Nigerian and white. So, actually, I don't know what Tyla is. If Tyla's mixed, Haley says, I can't believe that Harriet is 24 because she acts younger and looks older. Sorry, Haley, all look.
You are my people. I agree. You are my people. I said the same thing.
People people in the UK in general look a lot older, considering. I don't know why. Like, compare the way they look to the cast assessment that we did for Violent US. Yeah,
no, exactly. Except for Hannah, because Hannah just had a post that came out. She looks a little older than her age, in my opinion, anyways. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like the new aesthetic is to make you look 50, but look good for 50. You know, like they all look, you look good for 50. They're 24. I'm like, I can't believe I'm almost double your age. And I don't think I might look older just because, like, now I think if you don't have any work done, it means that you're older.
I think so.
But I feel that all that work makes you look aged.
Yeah.
And you don't look cute without makeup. That's
and sometimes the veneers make your mouth look bigger and it makes you look older. Like, come on.
You get me, Miss TJoy.
Yes, yeah.
Jessica says, I need Manveer to get on his Zoom immediately. The guy has disappeared. At least Sean decided to do a little something last episode. Yeah,
Harriet don't want Sean.
Sean had
Harriet
an episode swipe. Say again?
Harriet don't want Sean.
Do you guys want to know when I got the press release? And it was like a whole little section about Sean. It was like, who's Sean?
Yeah.
Exactly. He was like faded in the background. Exactly.
No, I wasn't talking about Tyler. I was talking about Uma, Mimi, and
Mimi.
and
Okay, sorry. It was
they're all
talking about this. Okay.
Yeah. They're all Nigerian.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so getting into this little date where Mr. Io cannot contain himself. He opens the champagne. They learn that they're both Nigerian. And back at the villa, the boys take off their blindfolds and they do notice that Io is gone. And Samantha is already kind of annoyed at Joey. And he's like, it could have been worse. Like,
baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because this boy isn't there to play. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Like, it makes me obsessed with Joey because he's so, like, unapologetically messy. Like, I'm just like...
Messy.
He is here for the shits. Listen, his face at the end of this episode, tonight's episode, he is here for the shits, guys.
Like, oh.
I think that alone is going to make me like him.
Maybe it's from Zimbabwe. I think it's what Miss T
Okay,
is saying.
maybe I read that wrong because I thought she was also Nigerian. Maybe she's Nigerian.
I don't know.
He's so messy.
Io, he needs to tell how edible he thinks that Uma is, and she's saying that she's so intrigued by him. But so she said that she's Nigerian and Australian, but then was making kind of just jokes and play on words with his name, saying Ayo, and he was like, I thought you were Nigerian because like that's a very Nigerian name. I believe it could be for a man or a woman, and it means joy. And so Io is just something that if you're Nigerian, you know. And so she didn't really know that. So maybe she doesn't visit, or
I think she might be leaning more Australian. And
I mean, listen, she knows her. I mean, she did ancestry, so she know her roots, but that don't mean she's in touch with them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this, and it's not to be nasty, but a lot of Nigerian men hook up with white women, and then they never stay with them.
Mm.
And so she might be raised by her Australian mother, and have no ties to her Nigerian culture.
Very fair, very possible. Definitely very possible.
Yes, my type of messy. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely my type. Right now I'm starting to become obsessed with Joey. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what nonsense is he going to be able to get away with? Like, he's just like, who, me? Like, what?
He's like, I have to.
No, I was doing clarity. I was doing it for clarity. I was trying to help you out. Like.
But then, okay, so we see Mimi go off and she's crying to Ronnie, and I actually appreciated that Ronnie was there they have a friendship that we haven't really seen blossom yet. It could be because he was
he's actually compatible with her, I believe.
Cancer.
So he's compatible with her. So
two water signs, being able to kind of get along and talk and be emotional with each other. And he's kind of a safe space for her. Yeah, which is really great because like we were kind of being like, Ronnie, I don't know about you, and then people were coming for us in the comments. Did you?
Yeah, they were like, Ronnie's girls.
It's because, and you might agree or disagree, I don't know, but we're taking Io out of the equation, and this was before this episode, so when we had him high, and we were ranking who we would want to couple up with or have chats with in the villa. And so we were saying that, you know, we could see the game that Ronnie's playing, but at least he's kind of interesting and entertaining. Like at least his banter is like kind of fun. Like, even if I could see right through him. And then Joey would be next. And then, like, everybody else, then maybe Munveer, then Kieran, then Sean. And so people were just like, oh, you guys are hustled by Ronnie. And like, they keep on going. I'd be like, but I think that Ronnie is actually kind of proving to be a decent, like, better than I was giving him credit for even. So what are your thoughts? How would you rank all these boys in here? Who would you want to date? Or
that that kind of reminds me, who that kind of reminds me of? Kylan. Because he's a Cancer, and every woman has never had like a bad thing to say about that man. And he can be messy.
Yeah, he can be messy. And he can say the wrong things too. Yeah. I guess so, maybe.
Yeah. So, but I can see that though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, every like feminine energy seems to go around Kylan and have a good time, and they come out of it and like, oh, he's a sweet, down to earth guy. But yeah, I
think Dan just doesn't know who Kylan is. So Kylan is from Big Brother US. He's also on the Challenge 39 and USA 1. And so he's just somebody that we've talked about a lot because he's had some drama in some of his seasons, but he's also had some relationships with a lot of people in the USA reality TV world. And so she's just kind of referring to him as being our resident messy Cancer man. So Mimi then goes with Nicole and Patsy to have a chat. And while that's happening, Io tells Uma about Mimi, but she isn't a set menu, apparently. Can you maybe explain to me some of his food analogies? Dan says that his body count has to be 100 plus, which is why he's complimenting girls like food. I actually don't even understand that also.
I don't understand either. And I like food. I don't get it.
Taurus love food too, and if she doesn't get it, then it's
if the Taurus doesn't get why his body count needs to be 100 plus because he compliments girls like food. I don't know. Tell me, explain.
Is food the easiest category to put them? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because he likes licking.
Ooh,
sucking,
maybe
and playing and tantalizing and
those kisses were sensual, I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, but anyways, what does it mean her being a set menu? She seemed to understand. He's like, oh yeah, set, like appetizer,
maybe he was saying she was the whole thing. You know how some people say you're a snack and then some people say you're a meal. Maybe he's saying she's a set menu, like she's all of them. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I'm liking where Miss TJoy is going with this.
Snack, you're a meal. You're an entree, meal, and dessert.
Okay.
Like you're okay.
I don't know.
I mean,
Appreciate says no comment. I don't know, Appreciate. You know, I've had some people say they want to stop you up. You know, I don't complain about it.
Jessica's with you here, meaning the full package. Okay, so you're a set menu. Set menu, though, is usually when the restaurant doesn't want to have its whole menu available, though, and so it only has selected things.
It's
so
prefixed.
Prefixed.
It's low.
Low price. You know what you're getting. So I don't know if his analogy kind of lands. Yeah. But if he means a full package, okay, I can get that. But set menu, I don't know. So she asked him to call Joey. Was that who's asked him to call Joey? Is that when did this happen? Okay, we'll just pause it there because I didn't take proper notes, I don't think. So Uma asked Joey Ayo to call Joey to send him in next. And so Ayo returns. Joey, you're up next, bro. And I mean, those are the two people to pick for sure.
Sam is worried, child. She not gonna be able to handle it. This is just the beginning. Bombshells are gonna be coming in. They're gonna be pulling him. You got to be able to handle this.
Yeah,
Right.
Jessica thinks that Sam may be too jealous with Joey. He's gonna probably be a hot commodity for Bombshell, so she's gonna need to get used to it. Well, yeah, like you don't. I get it. You're on Love Island. I get it. Joey's hot. I get it. You were interested in Ronnie, but he was kind of vibing more with Jess. So, go with person that you have the best connection with. Absolutely. But you gotta know that you're not the only person that's gonna want to get with Joey. Right. You're gonna have to be okay with
my
it.
whole thing is you're on Love Island. So regardless of what you want, people are gonna come pull your man or girl or whoever. Just like Mimi said, it's going to hurt when the tables are turned. And so you have to understand that. And realistically, so if you can't handle it, might as well hang it up and leave, because girl, you got chose by the most popular guy probably in the villa. He is going, it's like, who is it that last season that got pulled every single time? It was like Ella, and then that one guy who kept getting pulled every single time. I forget last season. Was it Zach?
Tyreek? What? Hold on.
It wasn't Tyreek. Tyreek didn't get pulled every time.
Zach. Zach.
It was Zach.
That started out with Molly. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Like you have to know, if you're with that person, they're going to be pulled every time a bombshell comes in, because they are the best person in the villa, which is a privilege if you're with them. So you have to either eat it or leave.
Right.
Eat it or leave. Eat it or leave. Dan says, sorry, this sounds evil, but can't wait to see Sam get her heart broken by Joey and Casa. They're not together until Casa, I don't think. I do not think so. Zachariah, yes. I think it's Zachariah.
Yeah.
Haley says, if this type of feels is coming out week 1, it's really not going to get any better for them. Absolutely.
It's going to be dramatic, Haley. It's going to be dramatic.
Absolutely not.
Like, I can understand these level of freaking out in week 2, but like, guys,
it's early
days. One bombshell, and she really didn't even look at it. And y'all are fighting between each other.
The producers are going to be so mad.
The triplets are fighting, honey. The triplets are fighting.
The triplets are messy. But I could see the producers sending in an ex of Joey's.
Yeah,
like an ex that he has a
like
connection
a celebrity
with.
Ex.
Yeah, exactly. That she cannot even compete with, and you'd be like, "No, babe, like there's nothing going on with her anymore." And then she'll pull her for a chat, like that's the level of messy that they are going to use him for. They're going to get the maximum mess with this.
He's probably still with her too on the outside.
Exactly. Like, let's go in and fuck shit up.
Right. Because these people don't care.
No, they don't.
So Ronnie tells Ayo to go and speak to Mimi. And this is strike 1 for Jessica here. The fact that Ronnie and the other guys had to tell him to go to talk to Mimi first. Like, why wouldn't that man be like, okay, I need to beeline and speak to the girl that I've been talking to for the last couple of days. And be like, hey, there's nothing going on. Or, hey, I had a nice chat with her. I don't want you to feel a type of way and blah, blah, blah. Like, something. It's just so rude not to even be considering her at all when he comes out of the hideaway.
I mean, Joey didn't even go to Sam.
Fair.
That being said, yeah, no, again.
But Joey did get to talk to kind of Sam before he went in. Like, Ayo just left her. And so, like, a conversation needed to be had. I'm sure that Joey and Sam had some sort of talks about, like, him being picked, kind of. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I from that point, I was really like, oh, he's gone, which is fine, but he needs to tell her he's gone,
right? Because
I mean, ultimately, boys choose. Although you never know it in Love Island, but you know, you're pretty sure that the guys were gonna choose here,
right?
I feel like he could have been a little more upfront with Mimi on this, but he chose not to be.
So Rachel here is saying that people are mad that Ronnie told Io about Mimi crying and being upset. Rachel didn't see the big deal, but Io did need to touch base with her. Well, I think it's the fact that Mimi was like, I don't want to look like I'm making a big deal about this. Like, I'm not like, tell him to go and speak to Mimi, but don't say that she's crying. I can understand that, just because it just makes her look weak, and the type of crying that she was doing wasn't the type of crying that he's probably going to think that she was doing. And so
right, like it wasn't a cry over him specifically, it was a cry over the situation, because that situation was abrupt.
Yes.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah.
like oh shit. Yeah. Everything's like way different than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So Io tells Mimi that he's going to be communicating really better with her feelings and how things are, he's going to be progressing moving forward. And so she seems to be content with how he's handling the situation.
Right.
She can't really be mad about anything. He hasn't done anything wrong per se. And so they are fine at this point. Uma does tell, I think, Joey that she's never had a boyfriend, and that she had blacked out when she went to kiss all these guys. And she said that Joey was pulling back a little bit in his kiss. Did you notice him pulling back, or
him pulling back?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice him pulling back, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I mean, it's a little bit
I
shocking.
saw that she was doing more of the leaning in. I did notice that she was leaning in more.
I mean, I guess so. Like, it's like all of a sudden I had someone like putting their lips, I'd be like, whoa, like what's happening here? Like, yeah, it might be a little bit hard to just lean in when you really have no idea who the person is.
Right.
It'd be shocking, probably. Joey does say, though, he's not looking for just a side thing. He's looking for something real.
Mm-hmm.
And Haley says, I kind of noticed, but it felt like it was because Sam was like, Joey, don't. Oh, maybe he.
And she was like, keep your tongue in your mouth.
Right.
She was like, keep your tongue in your mouth.
Right. She's so annoying.
So
she was really pretty this episode, though, at the recoupling, but she's annoying. So we see in the villa that Samantha is pissed at Kieran, of course, for saying that if this is happening now. Wait, did I put the wrong name down?
No, they overheard. The guys were talking in their little their little thing, and the girls were over here, and they could hear Joey and Kieran talking the loudest, saying that she was already acting jealous, and they were like, I mean,
if this is happening now, it's so early days.
Yeah, early days.
Absolutely. So she got it. So she's pissed at Kieran for having the conversation that she's like overreacting already.
Right.
She is. And her actually calling that out is also overreacting.
Right.
Early.
Exactly.
So Uma comes in with Joey and she hugs everybody. She's so kind and gracious and nice. Right. Like for like a bombshell that just is going to steal someone's man. Like I thought that she wasn't a bitchy bombshell at all.
No,
like,
not at all.
I feel like she was wanting to be friends with the women, and even with how she integrated herself into the villa, I thought she did a really good job with not feeling separate from the OG cast. She kind of went in and was really kind to everybody, and she also seems to know Ronnie. She's like, she was like,
doesn't everybody know Ronnie?
So she's still trying to figure out how she knows Ronnie. We see Kieran talking to Joey about the fact that the girls overheard their conversation. The girls have a little chit chat, and they're like, "Well, you think you know Ronnie?" And she says like she works at a bar, and she thinks that she kissed Ronnie a few years ago. And I'm like, okay. So then they call Ronnie over, and then a tour of the villa is happening for Miss Uma, and you finally get reminded of like the kiss and where the kiss might have happened, et cetera, et cetera. And then I was like, what on earth is Mr. Io completing this tour?
Thank you. Ronnie was supposed to be giving her the tour. Ronnie only. Where did you come from? You so doggone eager. You so eager.
What? You still muted me, Mika.
I'm telling you, everything. Like it was like literally everything in this one episode. I was like, oh, I don't like
Right.
this man. Oh, this is gross. What is
Why are
wrong
you
with
giving him
it?
into that's so rude?
So rude.
It was so like it was so unattractive.
Mhm.
So unattractive, guys.
Ugh.
Mhm.
And so then I'm like, now Samantha and Mimi are both crying. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's all
It's
these
crazy.
tears? Like at their age, I don't think I'd cried yet. like I'm being serious. I am Aquarius, so we have no feelings. But
That's
like,
very true. Very true.
And like
Aquarius.
I have a Cancer rising, so I've grown into being emotional. But like when I was like 21, 22, 23, I don't know if I shed a tear over anything that wasn't like performance based, like in the
No,
arts or something.
no.
I don't even know if I have. I'm just making stuff up, but like I don't remember crying. like I just feel like people are like, do you never cry? I'm like, I don't think so. And so the fact that they've cried more in these two episodes than I think that I had in my 23 years of life, I think is hilarious.
And you know what I've also noticed? Young people must be having a lot of situationships because they keep getting in here talking about they ain't had no boyfriend. And I'm like, how are you living life and you've never had a boyfriend and you're beautiful, you're young, you're vibrant? And so I'm like, they must be having a lot of situationships and not calling them relationships. Is that what's happening?
Well, I'm thinking for this particular age group, they had a lot of their like early dating stages during COVID, right? So like when they're like 19, 20, 21, 22, like that was all kind of COVID years. And so whether it was in university or in high school, like they weren't socializing with people and going to like all ages dances and like, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff wasn't happening. So
okay, because I had a boyfriend at 5. I had a boyfriend.
I mean, everybody had a boyfriend at 5.
I mean, I kept a boyfriend. I'm just saying, like, to just be like, I've never had a boyfriend. I'm just like, wow, this is different.
I never had a boyfriend at 5. I did not have a boyfriend.
Oh, he used to go get my mat for me when it was nap time. And he would buy me an ice cream sandwich, which was 25 cents at recess every day.
So sweet. Have you ever tried to look him up?
Yeah, we're Facebook friends. Yeah.
Aw, that's really cute. Are you guys gonna like? Is it gonna be like a love story that you guys get together in like your later years?
Oh, I never thought about that. I don't know.
Sometimes, you know, the man of your dreams is just right there all along.
Yeah.
So Fernando says it's day 5. This season's going to be a lot. Yeah. See, for Shay's like I'm 25, I still haven't really cried.
Exactly. That's the way to go for Shay. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I hadn't cried yet. No. It's very funny. So Nicole and Kieran are talking, and they're both holding back from wanting to kiss each other, and he just wants to eat her up. He's so attracted to her, but they're holding back. And I was like, what? Just kiss her if you want to kiss her. Like, anyways, whatever. They're holding back. We see them getting ready for bed, and then I just have like, what? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Kieran and Harriet are kissing under the covers in bed after he's holding back from Nicole. And we know that he has said that he does not like Harriet as much as Nicole. That's inappropriate, I think, Kieran. That's not right.
He's playing with her feelings.
It's really not right to sexualize somebody in that way. Like, yes, she was opening and willing to participate, and she wanted to, and she's interested in him, but he knew that he's not interested in her anymore. And so why is he pursuing something sexual with her when he knows that Nicole is the one that he wants to pursue? I think that's real. Well, I mean, he's 21, so I'll give him a little pass, but that's where I have a problem with what he did.
And he knew he was wrong. That's why he didn't even speak in the morning. He's so guilty conscious, can't even speak in the morning. Like, you can't even speak.
Haley says to Prochet that's wild to me as a Scorpio woman. I cannot relate. I mean, Scorpio women emotional, right?
Yeah, same Taurus. I've been crying forever. So
I really like. I didn't used to cry even for pain. Like, I don't know. I didn't. People were like, "Do you have tear ducts?" And now I cry all the time. I can cry like that. But back then, no tears for me. So in the morning, we see Io is keeping Uma company, and I'm just like, Io, you need to get your priorities straight here. Like, have a little bit of self-respect and respect for the people that you've been talking to and dealing with. Like, why are you all over Uma already? Like, is it because he wants Uma to pick him? And he doesn't care if Mimi is upset?
And that's why I said the entire issue.
Oh, see, Aquarius. Sorry, not really emotional.
That was my entire issue with him, is that it was obvious that he wanted to be picked by Uma. And instead of saying that, like,
he's kind of leading Mimi on a little bit.
Like, I'm pursuing her because you're my type, but she's more my type, and I would like for her to pick me. Say that.
Brutal. Vershay, when's your birthday? Vershay says to Haley, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm not really emotional. Even when big tragic things happen, I'm just like, okay, what's next? You might grow out of that. Like, as I got older, I started to be more connected with my emotional self. But it also could be because I have a little bit of even balance, but I have some water signs in some of my major placements. So, well, actually not some, just my rising sign. But yes, Aquarius, we don't cry. Oh, February 9th. I know a few February 9ths. We love you. Haley says, oh, I have so much to learn from Aquarius. I cry over such dumb things. I can't help it. You guys are connected to your emotional self. We aren't. We're just in our head.
There was a tweet the other day, like, oh, who cries over food? And I was like,
Taurus? What makes you tear up?
Well, I mean, I've cried because I've gotten my food and it's wrong. I've cried because I've gotten my food and it's really good.
I love that. That is such a Taurus thing to do.
You know what? My brother, I don't know if he cries, but he definitely gets emotional over his food. Like, he doesn't want us to touch it. He doesn't want us to eat it. Like, he doesn't want to share it. I'm just like, Jesus, like, relax. There's more.
Yeah. I used to hate, my ex-husband used to, like, always order after me. And he would look at what I was ordering. He would be like, oh, I want that. I said, so get what I'm getting.
And he's like, no, I just want to have a bite of yours. You're like,
yeah, he wants some of yours.
He would order something totally different and then try to eat mine. It's like, you should have just ordered what I had because I want my food.
Fernando says, I sometimes cry when I order something new on DoorDash and it doesn't taste good.
I'm saying.
Oh, I hate that.
That's really annoying.
And guess what? I got to get my money back. So I got to tell them something was wrong with it because I just can't go out like that. I hate when I try something new and it's bad on DoorDash.
Oh, that's so annoying. It's so annoying. I know my favorite part of the day is to eat. Like, after the stream, I'm gonna get something to eat. I get it. Like, I'm hungry right now. So Nicole is with Jess and Mimi talking about Kieran. So the whole Kieran situation, about the fact that she's kind of excited about the fact that, like, you know, they both really like each other and, like, holding back their sexual tension that they have, and they won't kiss each other yet. And then we go over to the boys chat, and I think that Uma's a bit of him. I'm like, oh dear goodness.
He was gone. Guys, he was gone from the time he lifted up the fucking blindfold. Yeah. He was gone. Yes.
Yeah.
He was gone.
And Zendaya, as soon as he saw her, it was over. It was a wrap.
And, like, she was tall enough. And I think that, like, he liked, like, where she sat height-wise, because he's a tall man. And so he's probably had a lot of short women, like, you know, 5'5", 5'6", it's kind of average heights. And so having someone that's a little bit taller, that's just, like, in his face and hot like that, like, I can understand why he was taken aback. But, like, act correct, please.
Exactly.
So Joey's worries that the guys are going to are right about Samantha. I'm like, Joey, you chose Samantha knowing that this is the type of person she is. I think he did that purposefully because he wants to be involved in the drama.
In the mess. He wants to be in the mess. Yeah.
I mean, Leos love mess.
Yes.
Right? Remember Ekansu?
They love to complain like they don't like the mess, but they love the mess.
They're just for the dramatics, for the drama. They're just like, that's just who they are. Even on the Traders, like how Peter was like, you know, he was so in the drama of it all and like having to be the best trader hunter. You know, they're just extra.
It's the ego.
Say again?
The
yeah.
ego.
And everything revolves around them. That's how they roll.
Mm-hmm.
So Samantha though is kind of giving Joey the cold shoulder, and I'm like, this girl does not know how to handle this type of man.
No.
At all. Like, this is not how to get. What's her sign again? I know it doesn't match.
A Virgo?
Virgo?
Oh, yeah.
A Virgo?
Yeah, she's Virgo.
Yes, she's a Virgo. So, okay, as our resident Virgo, Miss TJoy, how would you handle a Joey / a Leo?
I would have banter with Joey because I would already know, like, you know, I'm just not going. She's so starstruck over him. And so she's put him, you know, up here, and I would not do that. He would be like anybody on the block, like any regular man I would
dating. Ignore him.
Yeah, if you ignore him, he'd be like,
I don't run after no man. Me? I don't do that.
Yeah, you'd have to make him chase you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Fernando says Samantha is in for a rude awakening. She's a Virgo. She wants to control everything around her. You cannot control this man.
No,
not this man. He's not pussy whip, baby.
No. The way to control him is to pretend you're not controlling him, which is ignore him.
Exactly.
Ignore him and act like he's nobody.
Yeah, that's why like Aquarius and like would be able to handle like other air signs because like they just can't be bothered and it's like, wait, give me some energy here and like, okay, maybe, but like you have a little more control of them. It's so true.
I attract Leos all the time, but listen, I'm not feeding your ego. So
exactly.
Like,
I want to be the center of attention.
Yep.
You probably can understand them though because you're a fixed sign. So another fixed sign to fixed sign, you can handle their, you know, stubbornness or whatever you want to call it. So Kieran tells Sean about making out with Harriet in bed. Now, I can't tell if Kieran is just dense or young or playing a game. Like, because...
No, he's dense. He really is dense. He's dense.
Because I'm just like, you should know that both Nicole and Harriet are going to be upset about this. It shouldn't be a surprise. Do you think it should be a surprise, Mika?
I think he underestimated the way that things move in that villa.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right?
The opportunity to speak to people when you want.
Yeah.
And that the producers probably purposefully didn't allow him to say something to somebody when he wanted to. Okay.
Right. And that allowed that the girls would spread it or a guy would spread it to a girl. Like, I don't think he estimated how powerful those things can happen in that villa. I think he thought he had time, like closer to the recoupling to be like, well, I think I'm just going to pursue Nicole.
Right.
I think we're great. I think we were great, but I'm really more into her. I think he thought he had time.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't ever have time.
You know when his time was? Before he was making out with Harriet in the bed.
Exactly.
It was before that.
But I don't think he ever thought, because the way they are, I don't think he ever thought it was ever going to come out between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But he opened his
mouth.
And it really
didn't. Sean. It was Joey. It's Joey.
Joey, I can't wait to get to that part. So he thinks that Nicole is going to be absolutely fuming. She will be. He does feel guilty about this. So this is indicating to him that he's interested in Nicole. So then Harriet is telling Uma about the kiss that she had. So I'm like, well, Harriet's doing this on purpose. She wants to be the center of attention for sure. So I understand why.
Don't tell nobody. I didn't tell anybody. Don't tell nobody. You told somebody.
Exactly. About the kiss. And so, but in the morning, he made Nicole a cup of tea or coffee, and he said nothing to Harriet, which I think is actually really hurtful. I think it's really tacky. I think it's really mean. Yeah. And so
like,
even
if he's in a couple with her, like regardless of anything, you are actually in a couple with Harriet.
Exactly.
And you're making out in bed, and then you completely ignore her the next day.
It's
That's
like ghosting, like weird. Ew.
it's really, yeah, he's ghosting her in real life after he makes out with her. It's just really gross. Not a fan.
No.
But it could be his age. Blah 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 blah. So Uma wants to go for a little chin wag with Joey, and then she keeps on calling him JoJo. Now, how do you feel about
giving him nicknames?
this
And then she
nickname,
ended up calling,
JoJo?
what's the name? Yo-Yo?
You called him Yo-Yo for a bit too. And then I guess because like JoJo in like Spanish would be yo-yo. I'm not sure he likes the nickname. Now, I understand her tactic here, because if you want to make someone endeared to you, you have like a cute name for them. I just don't know if this was organic enough for it to work in that way. It sounds a little bit out of place. He's not a JoJo to me at this point, or how she's saying it.
So I think personally, and this is my opinion. I could be wrong.
I mean, I can get behind it. If you're funny and funny, like I can get behind it kind of being funny.
I personally think that she is a little more white presenting. She's used to probably dating white men. I think she probably does it to them, and it probably comes off endearing, and like 90% of them probably think it's cute coming from her little frame and body and mouth. But she's dealing with a fellow Leo. And he's just like, girl, I'm just as much of a prize as you. No.
Yeah, don't try to make like baby me or whatever. Like, yeah. I'm on your level.
So I agree with you. I think she played this wrong, because I actually, frankly, I think she wanted Joey.
But she probably worried that she wasn't going to be able to get him in the end.
Yeah.
Yes, or if she's playing the long game, like maybe because like she also doesn't want Joey to think that she's that like irresistible that she's gonna go and take him away. So it's gonna make her. Remember, we said ignore him. It's like, oh wait, I thought she was gonna pick me for sure.
Yeah,
she picks Io. What does Io have that I don't have?
Right.
And then maybe it's gonna make him more interested in her. So she might be playing a better game than him.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Yep.
I am into that. Even though I wanted to, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So they go for a little chin wag. Yeah, Joey saying JoJo all the time. She thinks that he's really funny. He hasn't really been that funny.
She was just telling him that.
Yeah, just like,
yeah. No, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I thought their conversations were fine, but I didn't think there was any humor.
Right? No.
I think if they were more humorous, she actually might have gotten him on the hook a little more. Like, coming from that place, I think he would have found it more endearing, other than the nickname. Like, no.
But I tell you what he didn't do. He didn't ask her to dance
for him to drop it.
He know better than to do that. I'm like, these women.
And just as I agree, I think Joey is the long game for Uma. Io is the easier guy to keep for now.
Yeah, I mean, based on, we'll talk about it, but based on her recoupling speech, yes.
Mimi and Io do finally go for a chat. She says that he is her type. He says that she is his type, meaning Uma, and is going to give her the same energy that he gave Mimi. I'd be like, excuse me?
But that's same energy. Like, he's lying. He's lying. Yes. Right there. He lied to her. Because same energy is different than what he did. He gave Uma more energy and gave Mimi less. Not same. That's another thing that pissed me off about that. Don't sit there and say to me, I'm going to treat you guys the same. And then 2 days later, I'm looking at it and I barely talk to you now. And you're just up in her face.
Jessica says the combo came off as him breaking up with Mimi, but not really. Yeah, it's kind of. I thought that that's what was happening, and then I was like, but they're cool.
But he wanted to keep her on the hook just in case. Just in case Uma doesn't
choose him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Uma pulls Io for a chat and talking about how they have a little vibe, and he says that he's had that convo with Mimi, so he's making it very clear that he's open and available, and Mimi knows about everything that's going on, and so he basically gave her the green light to pursue him if that's what she wanted. Uma talks to Nicole, who wants an outside of an opinion, so Nicole kind of updates her as to what's going on. Uma doesn't say anything about what Harriet said about the kissing in bed, so I was like,
that was good. Yeah.
I was like, that's actually I was shocked because she was in a position where she could have definitely been like, so and like we would have been happy for the best, but this was good for her, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure I'm trying to figure out if that's her genuine nature, or did her producer say you can't be the messy one?
Not right now.
I mean,
I think she's just a bubbly, like, get along. I mean, that's just what she gave off to me.
She
when
seems
she
like
tried to come in there, like, I just want to be friends with everybody, like, cool with everybody.
So Uma doesn't say anything, but urges Nicole to go and talk to Harriet. So that was kind of her facilitating the drama without actually being the one that shares the drama. Then Harriet tells Nicole about feeling a bit slagged off, and about Kieran. Like, she doesn't mention the kiss, but feels like Kieran's not that interested in her or whatever. We see Kieran talking to Io. Being like, I might have put my lips on Harriet's lips. I'm just like, oh my God, it's Kieran. Like, why are you telling everybody about this before you're telling Nicole? It's really not good. So, but Kieran says again that he's feeling Nicole more than Harriet, and so he's feeling guilty. I'm just like, okay, your guilt is not taking you to do the right thing at this moment. Like, hurry up, figure it out, and go and tell her what's going on. So Nicole goes inside and is fuming. Oh, sorry. So Nicole pulls Kieran, and Kieran tells Nicole that he kissed Harriet. And so she thinks it's weird now that Harriet didn't say anything to her when they just had this little chat, when she was saying that she was kind of annoyed with Kieran for not bringing her a cup of tea in the morning. But she didn't say anything to her about the kiss. So now Nicole is pissed off about this. What do you think about the fact that Harriet didn't say anything to Nicole?
This is how Harriet is. She's the same one that took Joey in the hideaway and then was like, oh, but I told you beforehand, and I just wanted to give what's name a taste of his own medicine. This is her. This is her. This is what she do.
Okay, Harriet's messy. That being said, I also don't think she wanted to look stupid. Like, she looked
in front of Nicole, knowing that he was going to choose Nicole.
Yeah.
I think I can do also.
Ghosted her. I mean, he ghosted her the next morning. Like, it's crazy. So, like, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No matter how messy Harriet is, because to be fair, I don't even think she wants Kieran, really. She wants Joey, but she can't get him. But you did whatever you did in bed with somebody, and the next morning he doesn't make you a coffee, a tea, a biscuit. He ignores you.
You don't even say hey
to somebody else, and then you're going to be like to the somebody else that he's ignoring you to, well, he kissed me in bed last night. No, it's day 2.
I mean, she could have played it and been like, I didn't. She would be like, as a friend, going up to Nicole and being like, I know that we're both talking to Kieran, and I do think that he might have more feelings for you than he does for me. But just so you can see how he was moving, like, me and him, we made out last night, and I thought that things were going to be progressing with us because we were in a couple, and like, we're getting a little bit closer. And then in the morning, he didn't make anything, and he basically said that he wanted to pursue you. And so I just want you to know how he was moving with me, because like, I don't know. I just wanted you to know. Mm-hmm. And like, I think that would make her not look as like a loser or whatever, however she felt.
Right. But that would mean that she actually wanted Kieran, and I don't think she actually wants him. Like, you understand, like, you do that if you're like trying to kind of turn the other girl off. Like, do you see what he did to me? Like, don't you think you should just let him go and I'll deal with him? Like, she doesn't really want him.
Well, I don't think that. Yeah, I definitely don't think she wants him. But I think that she, like, that could be one of the reasons what, like, how she could have made it that she didn't look like Boo Boo the Fool. You know?
Yeah.
Jessica says it's like Kieran wanted to get as much from Harriet before moving fully to Nicole. It's really user. It's actually quite gross.
Yeah. It's just gross.
I don't appreciate anybody using people in that way. It usually more so happens from I've heard anyways with men doing that to women. They'll just like go sleep with them, fuck them, whatever, like do this and that, give them the bare minimum and then just like dip and ghost them without like a word else. And I just don't appreciate it. I know that a lot of men don't look at sexual acts the same way as women do. But I don't think it's an excuse for you to use women's bodies like that. I think it's just gross to me.
Yep.
Rashay says Harriet's never doing that. She's into the drama. Facts. That's true. So Nicole goes inside fuming and tells Patsy basically like she could just go fuck off. Like she's just very mad at Harriet. I was like, oh boy. I don't know if it's the same episode or not. Is it the episode to end there? Oh no, there's just so many pages of notes, so I didn't separate it. So anyways, getting ready for the night, and we see Uma does the toast to sexy drinks, sexy people, sexy summer. And Nicole basically said that she would have liked to have been informed by Harriet, obviously, as to what was going on. And so she's talking to Harriet about this, and like Harriet Nicole really always wants to get into a fight with Harriet, and Harriet is so good at just being like, just getting out of trouble with Nicole. She's good at it.
Yeah, that's because Nicole is an Aries.
Yep, a fire sign for sure.
And what's Harriet again?
Taurus.
Yeah, that's
right?
pretty much our dynamic. I'm not fighting with you. I don't give a fuck.
And you're gonna be stubborn and like stay in it, and they're just gonna try to like spurt.
I could be wrong as hell. I'm not fighting with you. I don't give a damn.
Really?
Oh my God, Dan says, I did not have a clue what Nicole said, even put the playback to 0.25.
That's how I feel about Samantha. When she gets like that, I can't understand what she's saying.
Sometimes she's throwing some slangs in there as well. Like, I believe she's Welsh. And so sometimes she does have some words that are just like, what did she say? Especially when she gets a little bit worked up, mad. And so Harriet basically says, like, if you want him, you can have him. So she's putting down her sword. She's not fighting over Kieran with Nicole. And if... like, I wonder if this is the outcome that Harriet wanted, was her to be turned off by Kieran, because if someone was like, if you want him, you can have him, it would make him less appealing to me.
Yes. I was like, she's doing that on purpose because she know he didn't choose her. So then she's like, if you want him, you can have him. I don't even want anybody like that. Like, you wanted him 5 minutes ago.
I know, but I'd just be like, I don't want him anymore. And so, I mean, I would be turned off if I was Nicole, but she's not. Yes, both the Welsh and the Scouse accents are crazy. Kieran and Sean chat. Sean wants to have a crack on with Harriet. I was like, who's this man? Who is this man?
Some people see challenges.
See, who is he? But he just saw low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry, Harriet. Like, I actually think that I didn't expect you to be this character. But you're going to have to probably play this role and not necessarily find the guy that's meant for you, because it just might not work out for you and you might just bounce around from guy to guy. So having the Sean here to come in and keep his spot in the villa. Yeah.
So his producer is like, don't you think you can handle Harriet yourself? What? the guys all say she's crazy. Don't you see what
Right.
she's doing? No, but you have the personality. Look at her. You can handle her.
Oh, you know what he could though? Maybe Scorpio and Taurus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
She's
sister
not gonna give
signs.
him the time of day though.
She might, but it might be that they just are
We
together often enough.
understand each other. Like Scorpio and Taurus will always understand each other. I'm not saying we'll always like each other, but we understand each other.
Jessica, well, you're right. She did. How did I say? I wrote down that he wants to crack on with Harriet, but I think that he did say, "I'll take Harriet off of your hands." Just passing her around. Yeah, I guess it's a lot cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Sean spoke this episode. Yes, actually, quite a bit. Quite a bit. She seriously does not remember him doing that. Well, he is planning on taking Harriet off of his hands. Sean and Harriet do have a first conversation now that he's stated that he's interested and she's available. So he's interested in he says that Kieran is interested in Nicole, but that Sean himself has been thinking that he wants to lay his cards out on the table and that he's interested in Harriet. And he says that she looks like a mermaid tonight. And
she was like, "That's what I was going for."
Yes, but she's now going to go and nip things in the bud with Kieran. I'm like, aren't they already over? That's what I was thinking. I thought it was already over. Okay, I thought it was done.
She got to be the center. She got to go over there.
But it was over. But it was just like you know when you need like the actual nail in the coffin. You need somebody to actually bring the hammer down. Like nobody actually brought the hammer down. That's what Harriet was waiting for, and preferably she needed to be the one doing the hammer.
Absolutely, you just be like, I need you to know that this wasn't right what you did. Like she needs him to know that she knows, and she's gonna tell him.
Right.
So Joey and Harriet are having a conversation. Oh my gosh. And she says, I think that it's fairly obvious that he likes Nicole. I'm like, Joey, you didn't even want to be a little bit gentle with this delivery here. Like,
but no, it's pretty evident, right? Right?
It's obvious, no, that he's into Nicole more than you.
Like, well, he hasn't told me that.
No, you know it's evident. You know it's. I'm
like, no, you know it's. You know it, right?
Yeah, right.
And then he's like, Kieran,
again. To be fair, breakfast. Ignored her.
Right.
So I'm seeing where Joey's getting this.
Well, it is very obvious, absolutely. But like, not to have any sort of gentleness.
No, he had no compassion.
And then to be like, Kieran, come over here.
And I was like, God, this is supposed to be your boy. You gonna put him in this?
Who do you like more?
He was like, huh? Like Kieran was like, huh? Like this is not happening.
Didn't you in the dressing room? We're like, yay, Harriet.
Your name.
I mean, sorry, yay, Nicole, with Harriet sitting right here, right? And Karen just looking at like, bruh, really? Are you serious right
now? Twisting the knife, exactly, Michelle. I was crazy. Like, Joey. And he's just sitting there all like earnest. Like, it was he did nothing. He did nothing.
It was fun. Like, tell her.
Like,
it's obvious.
Haley says that Joey is too good at reality TV for these people. It's going to be so good. Oh my God!
Like, is that all? Is that all?
Yeah, is that all? Excuse me. Dad says that Kieran answering Joey's questions is wild. Like it was wild. I was like, Kieran,
can we talk about this later? It's escaping me right now what happened, but can we have this conversation, or can I pull you? Like,
oh, Joey, okay, you know what? This is a good time. Let me talk to Harriet. Do you mind if
I
take this week? And then that happened. I mean, I loved how this played out because it was freaking entertaining.
He's like, yeah. was like, what?
Is that it? Yeah. Yes, you did stir these things up, Mr.
And then
Joey.
Joy says, yeah, that's it. And then he walks away. He was like, see, I told you, see, he likes her.
So then we see Jess and Ronnie chatting about being open and honest with each other. And I'm like, I could feel like Jess getting burned. It's starting to brew. Like we knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to be a lasting thing. Like there was something about their combo that I'm just was like, I don't know how long this is going to last. And so I just feel like right now that like underneath the surface, this is about to explode and it starts moving in that direction. So Kieran joins them and it's like he was asking like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why is this happening? And like,
maybe you shouldn't have kissed her. I'm just saying.
Kissed her. You shouldn't have answered the question.
That
you
too.
shouldn't have said like, is that it? Like, there's a lot of things that he could have not have done.
Yeah,
but that he did wrong.
Very much so. A long list.
So Joey tells him that he needs to show her, I guess Nicole, like that he actually likes her, and I guess tell Harriet still. Anyway, so Joey, Sean, Patsy join Ronnie, Kieran, and Jess, and Kieran is now slightly annoyed that he was asked so bluntly. Like,
dude,
what's he
is it the way it was asked to him? That's because you did not have to answer it.
Don't have to answer anything.
Like, is it the fact that it was asked so bluntly that you thought you had to answer it?
That's what I'm saying, because it was like the man was like, can I not answer? Like, he's so dense. I'm telling you, he is dense. He doesn't get it.
She says that when he walked over the group with his shirt open and acted even more confused, he's just like, I'm sorry, this made me fall for you, Joey. Like, it's so funny. It's so messy. So Harriet, obviously, after the sequence, runs away crying. Patsy and Uma follow her, and she kind of starts screaming like, "Oh, you're 20-year-old boy," and talking about the way that he spoke to her, and saying, "Is that all? Is that it?" Like, I mean, I would be
kept saying
I
in
would
front
be
of everybody, but it was only in front of Joey. But she kept saying.
It was like I just kept saying, like, is it because of the way that it was asked? Because, dude, this is not how you handle this. Like, you pull Harriet to the side and say, I'm sorry, I should have said this and made this clearer to you. I like Nicole. And that's it. Like,
I want to see where things go with there. And so I know that we're in a couple, but I would be choosing to maybe couple up with somebody else.
Right.
Nicole. Dan says Harriet's crying made me laugh too loud.
Weren't you laughing at her crying?
Everybody's like, who? What happened?
She's like, you go back out there. You don't let him do this. You go back out there.
Absolutely. And so Harriet and Patsy and Samantha are all talking, and then sings his Samantha. Oh no, they started talking about like, well, is he going to sleep on the daybed? And so Harriet gets Samantha to go over and ask Kieran if he's going to be sleeping in the daybed, and he's like, "What am I supposed to?" Like, he doesn't know anything.
Hello, daybed, doghouse. Choose one. Not in mine.
Rachel says Harriet and Samantha never shed tears when they cry. It's so uncomfortable to watch.
Exactly.
I don't want to ruin their makeup.
Okay.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
You're not really crying if you're not shedding no tears.
And so then Joey, like with the straightest of faces, says like, "Well, why don't you guys just like put like a pillow there?"
Not ever watch Love Island. It's just, I can't.
He's like, that's not a good idea. Like,
Woo,
but so she's like on one now, and so she's like, Kieran, like 20-year-old prick, and so Kieran's like, oh, now she's like going in on my age or whatever, and it's like, well, Kieran, you are a 21-year-old prick, to be honest. Prochet here loved Patsy stirring it even more and not backing Harriet up and just walking away when she told her she was gonna back her.
She was trying to stand there for a little while, but then Nicole was like, can we give them some privacy? Like, let's give them some privacy.
We're just on one. So that they're all getting ready for bed, and she's upset. Harriet's upset, saying he mugged me off in front of everyone. So this is Harriet saying this to IO. So we see Kieran sleeping outside, but then Nicole runs in to say goodnight to him. And in the morning, Uma looks beautiful without makeup on. Like, I was like, wow, like,
she looks better without makeup than with that makeup. I
very,
don't know.
Very pretty.
I don't feel like she has the right color makeup on for some reason. I don't know.
I think it was that blush that was throwing me off.
There was something. You know how your summer color comes in and sometimes you don't have the right matching foundation? I feel like it's something a little bit of that.
Maybe.
But
not sleeping on the day bed first week.
Yes, Rachel, it is diabolical. Absolutely. How do you mess up so fast? Like that's out of control.
Joey was like, just put the pillow.
No. Wrong bed if you want to put a pillow between us. Sorry.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness, that was so funny.
Shay says, but she put the battery in her back so she can go over there. So at least stay. Absolutely. It's like she's like, okay, and like she definitely should have maybe stuck around.
But did you hear Samantha when Joey said just put the pillow? She was like, stop it because you said something. Like, and she was just like, at this point, she was like, you be quiet because you stirred this whole thing up.
Samantha, you can't control Joey.
Clarity.
It's not your boyfriend, babe. It's like, chill. So Haley said maybe Uma had to get rid of the orange room before entering the villa. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That orange room is not good for makeup, but usually people of color will be fine more so. But Haley says, I think that you were right for sure when I clogged Nicole's concealer the other day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so in the morning, Sean brings Harriet a coffee or tea. I was like, okay, so he's putting in a little bit of work there. That's nice. Go, Sean. Then Jess completely denies saying that she ever urged Harriet to go and speak to Kieran. And
Patsy?
Patsy. So Jess is saying...
Jess stated supposedly that whoever told her to go do that is not a real friend. Right. And Patsy got upset because she's like, well, I'm the one who told her to do that.
But then she says that she didn't tell Harriet to tell him off, and Harriet agreed that she did it on her own accord.
Right.
And so they got into a bit of a fight, and I was like, okay, Jess... I like
Jess standing her ground. I like Jess standing her ground. She's like,
fine, stand your ground. But I feel like at this point that Jess is moving out from being in with the girls and is going to be kind of an outsider. Like, who's her closest friends at this point?
Mimi. Yeah, that's what I was saying to you. Mimi is. You can see it. It's just been her and Mimi.
It's just been her and Mimi
out most of the time.
Because they're not emotional. Mimi is emotional because she's a Pisces, but she can regulate her emotions. Mm-hmm. Jess and Mimi seem like the more mature. They don't get overly dramatic.
They're looking at all these people like, what are y'all doing? Right. I would be Jess. Right. Like, the way I am as a Taurus, yes, I would be Jess. Like, I don't understand what the fuck any of these people are doing right now.
I don't know if I'd be the Patsy, but... I would definitely be flaming some fires. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I would be entertained by it. I mean, I might try to pacify it. I'd probably play like mediator and try to like get people to say their side and stuff like that. But I wouldn't be likely the person urging me like, no, he shouldn't be speaking to you like that. Like, go and say something and let him know how you feel. Like, there's no way you should let him get away with that. I would be that person. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jess. So Kieran and Io are talking, and Io basically says that Uma projects it more. So this is where saying like that's the fiery energy that he's probably recognizing. And Mimi is just calm and cool, which is very water-like, Neptunian. It's very interesting that he's laying out what their innate signs are in how he's characterizing them.
When he said it, I was like, I can respect it. That's literally what they are. Literally why you're choosing her over her. Tell Mimi you're choosing her over her.
Just tell her.
Right.
Exactly. Just tell her. So Joey talks to Harriet and tells Harriet to crack on. Well, wants to know who Harriet likes. And so she says Ronnie and Sean. Like she did not want to say Sean at all.
She did
but
not
like,
want to say Sean.
She's like, and Sean. And so he thinks that Harriet should crack on potentially with at least one of them. And so I think this is where I wrote down, I'm like, after having that little mini fight with Patsy, Jess, and Harriet is going to start working her way into Ronnie.
Yeah.
She's going to start chipping away.
That's the one. That's the one she wants. She can't get Joey right now, so she wants Ronnie. She'll settle.
Ronnie would be an easier get for her, just because like she's gonna have similar characteristics because she's also a Taurus. So the Taurus and I think Ronnie was a Capricorn. That combo is gonna be very similar for him. And she's not gonna be great at getting Joey. I don't think that she's.
I thought Ronnie was a Cancer. Is he not a Cancer?
For Cancer, sorry, Cancer, which is the best combo.
Yeah.
Cancer. I just told you about my mom and my brother. Thieves, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna be good vibes.
Yeah.
So I think that she's gonna go in and swoop
Take
in
him
and
off.
take.
Yeah.
Well, the way he gave that speech.
We're getting to it. Okay, we're almost there. So Mimi's talking to Jess and Nicole. And basically Nicole is saying, like, you're the prize. And when she was saying that, I was hearing your voice, Mika. I was like, that's Mika saying it to her.
In my head, I'm like, tell her, thank you. Like that whole entire conversation went exactly how it would if I was there, because she was, and I was glad Mimi saw it. Like, she saw what he was doing, and you could kind of see that she kind of had the ick from what he was doing.
Right.
Yeah, well, she says, like, I don't know if I'm going to talk to him. Like, I don't know. It would be just would turn me off if I was a water sign and like seeing someone all braggadocious and all excited about this new girl, and like after we had something going on and like not talking to me about it, like I just be like, nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, like for me, even as an earth sign, like to see a guy like just following after somebody like that, like a puppy dog, like, and it's not me.
It's not me.
Exactly. So we do see Io and Uma having a conversation, and that's kind of happening simultaneously while Mimi's talking to Jess and Nicole. And so I think that that's where she just was like he's putting so much energy and effort into her. Have him. That's fine.
And I was happy that she saw it, because I do feel like even when you see her standing there at the end, she seemed okay with everything that happened, because she knew he had, truthfully, he lied to her, and he was pursuing Uma, but she was able to see it in enough time to be like, I'm okay with it. He's gone. Right. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Jessica agrees that Mimi has been clocking Io the whole time. She's just playing it cool until she needed to make her move. Yeah, I think she just she doesn't know how things are going to turn out. So I think she was just like watching and trying not to be emotionally involved and just be chill. Cool, calm, cool, and collected. So Ronnie then goes to pull Harriet, And then I was like, oh my God, I saw this coming. He says to Harriet, we've always had a little bit of like an eye flirt thing going on. And she says, you know that I've always fancied you. And they talk about the sexual chemistry is crazy, which it would be with Cancer and Taurus. That's like very sexually compatible, emotional.
That's what I've been told. Yeah, I've never met a Cancer man, so I wouldn't know.
Really?
No.
I'm like, I'm not trying to introduce you to my father. My dad's a Cancer man. They are Cancer men in the world.
Well, okay, I know one Cancer, but like he's young. I wouldn't date him. But like, yeah.
I don't know that many Cancer men. Like they're not for me. I dated one and I didn't enjoy it. But for a Taurus, that would be a great little combo, I think. So the sexual chemistry is crazy. And then he's like, pull me tonight if you want. I was like, you're making her pull you, so she's gonna get into the fight with Jess, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like how you acted, like it's still early days, like blah 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 blah, and so that's gonna give him an out with Jess, and then he's gonna be able to just be with Harriet.
Oh, Jess, you know Harriet's crazy. It's not my fault.
Blame it all on Harriet. So Kieran then pulls Harriet, and he does an okay apology, saying it wasn't his intention to hurt her feelings, blah, blah, blah. And he wanted to hug it out, and she says, I'm not really there for that. And they're done. And hopefully it's done.
When we're done, we're done.
We're done.
And no, you can't hug me.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be hugging anybody. Be like, no. Jessica says, I wonder if Joey told Ronnie what Harriet said because I thought it was convenient that Ronnie pulled her the next day.
I thought the same thing because I never saw them doing all that flirting that they said they were doing.
Well, maybe in the very beginning, day one.
I remember them in the beginning, until he started really focusing on Jess. I think once Joey walked in, Harriet's attention was a little more divided, but the first day she was pursuing him. Yeah.
Samantha was pursuing him.
I thought Samantha was pursuing. I don't know.
She has said Ronnie.
Harriet? I think she said his name.
She's been saying Ronnie since the beginning until Joey walked in, and then remember she was going to use Joey to make Kieran jealous. And she was dividing her attention. She was. But Ronnie has always been in her top. He just has been focused on Jess the entire time.
Okay, JB wants to know if Mimi and Uma have interacted. Do we know if they get along? They kind of been separate from what I could see.
From what I could see, they've been separate. It's possible that the producers have been doing it on purpose. I don't know which way, either to aid them or to shield what's actually been going on. I don't know. But we haven't really seen them interacting. And what I am happy about is they haven't used the little facial expressions that they're both making to try to play them. The audience. I haven't seen that on Twitter, that people are using that against it because I don't feel like they were in an easy situation either way.
No, they weren't.
So Dan thinks that if Joey wasn't there, that Ronnie would have been the boy that most of the girls wanted. 100%. That's what we were predicting until the bombshell of Joey walked in, and we thought that Ronnie was going to be the messiest of the messies, and Harriet messiest of the messies. And they still are, but now they have to.
If you took the Joey dynamic out of the Villa equation, it would be Ronnie.
Especially with him coming in with this conversation right here. He was like, excuse me, sir. Okie dokie. So Uma and Joey have another conversation and talks about who she's feeling. Uma says him and Kieran, which I was like, Kieran, where did Kieran come from? Calling him Jojo again. I thought it was funny. Maybe she didn't want to let it out that she liked Io.
No, I believe her that it's Joey and Kieran. I told you, I really do believe that her preference is white men.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
I
Don't go
can
for
see
Kieran
that.
though. Maybe aesthetically he's cute, but like I wouldn't want to be involved with him.
Right. And I think that's why she did not choose him. I think she did not choose Kieran because she did not want to be involved in the drama. And I think she did not choose Joey because Joey is not, again, just like he has an ego, she has an ego. He was not feeding her ego enough for her to be like, well, if I choose him, he's going to pursue me just as much as I'll pursue him.
This is the ultimate game. Like she's playing, definitely, she's playing it well. I think for her.
Yeah.
So Io and Mimi have a little daytime chat and just talk about how like you don't give off too much. And so they were having kind of flirty chats, but it seemed like there was just like kind of like a wall between them now. Like with this before, when they were having this, there was a little bit more of
chemistry.
Now it was just kind of like
I told you because she peeped him. She like all of it's gone. Like even when she was saying what she was saying to him, instead of it being flirty, it kind of felt like, I don't want to say a threat, but more of a peep. Like, oh, you haven't really been, available.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm letting you know I see you. Remember how you were telling me you see me? I see you too. I see you.
Which you could flirt and do that, but it wasn't coming off that way anymore. There was no chemistry basis anymore to me. No.
Patsy and Harriet are talking, and Harriet thinks that Nicole is weird for knowing that they kissed in bed and still wanted to be with Kieran. I actually have to agree. I do think it's a little bit strange. I would have been turned off by Kieran's actions, but they're on Love Island and you want to get a couple, and it's nice to feel like you're the one that's being chosen. So maybe I'll have to let that slide, but I could see where Harriet was coming from, especially being the one that's not chosen, her being a little bit jealous there.
Yeah.
So. Samantha and Joey chat, and Joey, she's just like watching every move he makes. And he's like, well, how's your chat with Uma? And then she's like, well, if you like Uma more, then I'll pull back. And he's just like, what's happening here? Like,
you know what's happening. He know what's happening.
I know, but he's just like playing dumb. And she's trying to like give him an ultimatum, but like he doesn't care.
Right.
She's not recognizing
and
that.
She's not going anywhere, so he's like,
yeah, he could say jump, she would say how high. Like she, like if they got into a fight, he'd just be like, well, you're beautiful, and she'd like she'd be fine. Like she's no challenge for Joey. Sean and Kieran talk, and they talk about Harriet, who is kind of sunbathing, saying that she has a great bum. So it is a little bit bothersome how much right now Kieran and Sean are sexualizing Harriet. And, it's kind of like they're passing the toy around. And like, I don't really like that. It's icky for me.
I agree.
Getting ready for the night. Patsy makes the cheers to one big happy family. And then we immediately get a text. The boys are going to be deciding. They have to all go to the fire pit. But Uma has the first choice here. So this person and I have a great connection, she says. Showed me a lot of interest. She chooses Io. Because when she was saying that, I'm like, she's not going to choose Joey. I'm like, oh, choose Joey. Don't pit the black people against each other so soon. Just can't we have nice things for 3 days? 3 days.
Right. I was of two minds. I was like, oh, I want her to choose Io. Because I want him away from Mimi so badly right now. And I don't feel like he deserves her, and I want him to be chosen by Uma and then eventually dumped. And then there was like, but I also don't want to give him the satisfaction of her choosing him because of the way he's been acting. So it's kind of like, Oh, but I was happy that she chose him.
Me too, because he was just gonna string Mimi along. If she hadn't chosen him, he was gonna choose Mimi, and he was gonna keep, stringing her
And then
along. And I didn't
would
want
have
that
liked
for
the
her.
storyline of her looking like
and I didn't want that
anyway.
for her.
Correct. So I was happy. Even at this point, I was like, all right, my girl might get dumped, but I'm happy she's away from him because he does not deserve her. Exactly. And I'm glad that Uma said that, oh, he's been pursuing me heavy. So it was clear that whatever he was saying to Mimi was lies, because he was lying to her. He was not giving her the same energy that he's giving Mimi. Sorry.
So when they sit down, Uma does apologize to Io, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry. Like, what are you apologizing for?" And it's like, even that, I was kind of mad at him. I was like, "What? No, she should be like, you should be upset about the situation a little bit, and like, you should be like, oh, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Like, it is a big deal. Like, you're kind of." We're shitty to a nice person didn't do anything to you other than being kind.
Or not even, or the fact that at that point you didn't know she could be going home.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like to me, I hope she never talks to him again, because he jeopardized her position in the villa 100%. That she could have actually been dumped. And that's why I was like, I'm glad that it worked out the way that it worked out, because I really do hope, regardless of what happens moving forward, she does not go back to Io if she had.
I think that ship is sailed.
And I do think that ship has sailed. Yeah, I agree.
Tia says, "Hey ladies, I just finished watching episode 5, and at the end of the episode, Io's Proku fake was epic. Like, he was just like staring straight ahead."
You know whose face they were comparing that to, right?
Who's?
To Cinco's when he saw Cash coming down with Charlie. Epic will live in infamy. I swear to God, that was the best scene ever.
Ronnie says some weird speech where he's like, "However, I'm still very open." I was like,
it was
and then
mean.
chooses
it was
Jess.
Mean.
I was like,
mean.
What?
It was odd. It wasn't even just mean. It was like out of place. Like, because have that conversation after you choose the person and you say it nicely.
Right. Maybe. Why say all that and you're choosing her? Like, that's.
But maybe he really wanted to choose Harriet. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, because maybe it's to say that, like, hey, I'm staying with you for now, but I think that I'm gonna move else. Like, so they have a fight a little bit, or so, I don't know. But like, it was way out of left field, and Jess was pissed, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And maybe he doesn't want to be with her, but he doesn't necessarily want her to go home yet. So, because like, if he doesn't choose her, there's a chance that she would go home. So maybe that's what he was protecting, and he knows that Sean was going to be able to keep Harriet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you don't know, maybe Sean would have kept Mimi or Patsy or whoever. So maybe it just was odd, an odd word.
Well, Fernando says if Ronnie and Harriet couple up, they will be the biggest instigators ever. Yes, they will. That's coming. That's week 2. I think it's going to be the week of Ronnie and Harriet.
I think they're like two ships colliding. It's coming. It's coming.
It is coming. We agree. We definitely want Io to stay away from Mimi. He doesn't care about her as a person. Not at this point. No.
Yeah.
Shay says Joey and Ronnie are my favorite people this episode because that speech by Ronnie was very unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. I was like, what is happening? I was like, Jess, after this speech, like I was so confused. Oh,
Nicole was mad. Nicole was mad too. She was like, what is going on? Like, what kind of speech is that?
Yeah. Definitely these guys need to think before they speak. I mean, I think that Ronnie was being intentional. Like, I think he wanted to say this, but I don't know why.
I do believe that he didn't want to say that. My thing
I was thinking he did. Like, or I don't know.
Like I believe he wanted to say that. What I'm saying is that he needed to say that later. He didn't need to say that then.
I don't. I was very
Like
confused.
you say, oh, I'm choosing this girl. She's beautiful. Her like she's been so open with me in the villa. Blah 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 blah. And then you sit down with her after. Just so you know, I'm still. If a bombshell walks in, I'm still gonna be open.
I'm still open.
I'm still open. I'm still open.
Right.
That's what you do.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
And then he has the gall to be like, "Why are you raging?" He's taking a page out of Joey's like clueless page. Why are you raging? Excuse me, sir. Oh my goodness, these people. Joey goes and says that it's the only girl in the villa right now that I've got a connection with. I was like, that.
And I hope she peeped it too. I hope she peeped it too.
Yeah. I hope she understands.
But she won't listen to it.
That was a pre-warning, girl.
Just what's to come. What's to come is a new bombshell, and you are going to be crying. Kieran chooses Nicole. I didn't really write down Kieran's speech. So Braché's saying that Kieran's asking mid-speech if his speech was okay. Just say what you want to say. I didn't write down his speech. Do you remember it?
He kept saying, he would say like a sentence, and then he'd be like, right. And then here go Joey. Like, he needs Joey's permission. He's like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Go with that. So he's like, and then when he finally says that, he's like, is my speech okay? And then he asked her, was his speech okay too? I was like, this 21-year-old boy don't know nothing. He don't have no sense of his own. That's why everybody just gets him to like say, oh my goodness, peer pressure.
Well, he just doesn't know that he's even being peer pressured because he's so young.
No.
Mary wants Joey to pick one of the triplets and send them home. One home, the other two. They cast him for Joey, and then he can pick and drop up the other two. So he just basically wants to recycle these triplets because I'm sure the people that they're going to bring in for Joey are going to look exactly the same as those people. But I still think that they're going to bring in an ex of his or something, someone famous that he's always been interested in, you know? Braché's, okay, sorry, we saw that one already. And then we see Sean had a bit of a bumpy road, but he wants to see if there's something with her. And so he chooses Harriet. And then Munveer says that he kind of has a flirtation with this person and chooses Patsy. Meaning that Mimi is going to be left to the end. Dan says didn't see Munveer to the end. He doesn't look happy to be there, to be honest. Like that was the only time we saw him the whole episode, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't seen him the last 2 days.
Maybe he was sick and he was like away or something.
Yeah. But he's been building a connection. I mean, I feel like him and Patsy do seem to have something more than he had with Mimi. So I mean,
I don't think he really wants Patsy. He just keeping her there.
I mean, I don't know. I can't gauge. I haven't gauged what his type is other than somebody who feeds his ego and thinks he's the prize. And I don't see any of those women thinking that his short self is the prize. So I don't know.
Yep, Dan, Kieran is giving lapdog for Joey. Like, Joey's just going to send him around to just create some mess.
This is going to be such a mess. It's going to be so
Mary says in defense of Io, it's been 4 days. We should let him explore his options and see who he connects with best. Absolutely.
I don't think any of us are not saying that. All he said is he just had to be honest.
And he just was not being direct and honest with Mimi. And he was willing to let her be dumped for the fact and not let her know that might have been a possibility. He didn't really make it clear that he's been connecting with Uma and they have something maybe going on and she might pick him and he would be willing to explore that with her. She did not know that. She did not expect necessarily to be standing there by herself facing potentially going home.
Right.
But then Mimi gets a text saying that you are now single. And then another text arrives saying that Omar is waiting to meet you, Mimi.
Please leave the villa.
Cheeky. Yes. Hashtag first date feels. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And I love when she was running out to go meet him and she turns to the camera and it was like,
Thank you. And you know what Love Island Twitter tweeted? They're
What?
like, no, Mimi, thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm like, yes, this is what we've been asking for years. You need to understand what the audience wants. And we wanted Mimi. And thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, so great. I mean, like, I don't know if this guy is going to be a good guy. It seems like maybe he's not the greatest guy, but the fact that she's not being dumped, that she has option and potential, she's not leaving the villa right now, that's amazing. So
you saw homeboy's face. He was like,
it's over for you. Sorry. He better hope that Uma stays with him.
Yep.
Because
I don't think so. He might have bought a ticket out of the villa.
I think he did. I mean,
he's good looking enough that like someone else might be interested in him. But it might not be as easy for him as these first 5 days have been. Yeah. Okay, so Tamika, you have some tea info, all the stats and et cetera, about Mr. Omar, which is the new islander that's going to be coming in. So what do we know about him?
I think I can share.
Yeah.
Not his ex. What?
Chrome tab. Yes, there we go. All right, can you say? Hi. So we have Mr. Omar. Now, the video we saw of him, I don't feel like gave him justice because I was like, oh, is he short?
He looks short here.
He looks a little taller here to me than
taller. Okay.
Yeah, but this is one of his photos from his IG.
That's a good looking photo.
Yeah,
yeah, he look about 5'10", 5'9", 5'10".
I think he's a little taller than that, maybe 6 foot.
He's one Veer's height.
So he is Omar Niam. He is 25 from Crichton. He's a PE teacher, and come to find out, he is friends with Stormzy. Yes, that is Maya Jama's Stormzy.
Okay.
And apparently, it had been rumored that he was coming to Love Island looking for love. So now he is in the villa. And guys, he's a Virgo.
That's good.
September 4th. And
how do you, Miss TJoy, how do you like Pisces?
I don't do Pisces men. Remember I told y'all that I don't do because I'm very logical and they're very emotional and it doesn't work for me. We're the opposite, so some Virgos, it might work for them. It does not work for me.
Yeah, you like your Taurus men.
Yes.
Sorry, Mika, you continue.
So that's it. So basically, I personally think he looks so much better in civilian clothes.
Yes.
It's like his Love Island picture is not doing him justice.
No.
Neither was that video. But yes, I think he's way handsomer than we got portrayed on TV, and hopefully they have a little better connection potential.
Yes, I hope so. Now, I don't know this Stormzy guy.
You don't know who Stormzy is?
No,
it's Maya Jama's boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Is he cute?
He's a famous rapper. I think it is British rapper in the UK.
Mary says Virgo equals bad in bed. I can confirm I am a Virgo. Okay.
That's so funny.
So yeah, but Jessica was saying that Stormy 6'6" and that Omar didn't look that short compared to Stormy. So.
That's why I was saying that. I think when there's a photo on his IG, Omar. Here. Ooh. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's
this is him, and this is Stormzy. So yeah, I think he's about 6 feet. Maybe.
Okay. Brochet here is saying, though, apparently Omar's ex is on Twitter going off on him.
Again, ex in that he was on the plane and they were still dating, like next to him, or ex like longtime ex? Because again, I keep saying I don't care.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I'll do a little investigating and seeing what's going on. So that's pretty much it for these two. These two episodes were giving. What a great week so far. I believe Saturdays it's still going to be the bit on the side. What do they call it? Unseen bits. That's still Saturdays, Mika? Okay, so we won't be back until Sunday. On Sundays, I will be working again, so we'll maybe do a double episode on Monday. And we'll get caught up if there's anything that's interesting that's happening on Unseen Bits. If I can find out any tea or information about the Twitter combos that are going off on about Omar and his ex-girlfriend. Do you guys have anything else you want to share before we say goodnight for the weekend?
No, I am happy Mimi is still here.
Me too.
The girl said he broke up with her 2 weeks before he left, I believe. I don't care about that, honestly. At least he broke up. That's what I'm saying. Like, unless they were still together while he was on the plane, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Like, sorry, like, I'm gonna go and take this opportunity. I might meet somebody.
Maybe I was gonna say, and maybe he'll come out and be alone and they'll get back together. I don't know, but I'm just like, I can't help you guys. I really
what do you have going on, Tamika?
So nothing. I did post some clips of our cast assessment for Love Island US on TikTok and Twitter. Ugh, I still don't have access to my Instagram. I can't. I'm so used to Twitter. I missed my Twitter. Get me Twitter.
They took away your Twitter?
Yes, they banned me for no reason.
So annoying.
I've been on my personal account, which I have on lockdown for personal reasons.
Oh anyway. My goodness, I didn't know that.
So I'm banned. I've been trying to fight it. Right, I just started fighting it. Anyway, so otherwise, as soon as I get like PR in the morning, I do try to post it. I've been posting it everywhere. So if you're following me everywhere, you will find the tea. So at some point, if I get 4 pages of Kieran and Harriet's conversation again, I'm gonna try to edit it down. Like, that was crazy this morning. And otherwise, Love Island US does start on Tuesday. So figuring out coverage for that. Perfect Match started today. I want to watch it, but just for Tolu and Dom.
Oh, that started today too.
I know, I'm gonna watch that. How many episodes do you know?
I don't know how many episodes dropped. I know it's maybe 3 or 4, maybe. I'm not really necessarily interested in it. I just want to support Tolu.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe watch. Maybe I'll do some TikTok recaps.
Yeah. And then July's gonna ramp up everything. So damn, 6 episodes.
That's how much they dropped. Why?
I mean, to be fair to the cast, it's old. I mean,
that's true. They're probably all broken up if they were together.
Like, I know for a fact that some of them have new partners already. So,
oh wow,
right.
But other than that, right now, just slowly waiting for Love Island USA to start, and then next month The Bachelorette starts and Claim to Fame and
Claim to Fame. I love that show.
Claim to Fame. The Mole.
Oh, yes.
I've been watching this Traders cast that just dropped, that came out. I'm excited for that. Oh, so much going on, guys.
I know it's the summer of reality TV, and so I'm going to do my best to cover as much of it as I can because I am free this entire summer. So yeah, I'm just gonna be recapping and watching reality shows. What are you gonna be up to, Miss TJoy? Do you want to cover something?
I need to catch up on all this stuff over the weekend. I haven't even watched Bridgerton. Like, I have been so busy.
I've never watched Bridgerton, so I'm actually behind 3 seasons. I'm sorry.
What? I love it. I have been so busy like the past 3 weekends and then working during the week. And so this weekend I'm finally like, oh, I'm gonna catch up on all the stuff. I didn't even watch The GOAT yet. And I have
know.
like so much stuff.
I want to watch yesterday. What day is it today? Yeah, yesterday's the GOAT. Or is it today?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I just caught up on the challenge. I'm so mad about Killer Cam and anyway, so I was so behind on everything. So I'm just now catching up. So
yeah, when I was on my like 14-hour plane ride, I watched every episode of the Traders UK finally.
Nice.
Oh, finally, yay.
Lucky.
Yes.
Fun.
Oh, and I still have to watch that South African Ultimatum. I didn't watch that yet.
Gotta watch that we were supposed to cover. Yes.
Yes, check me out on RHAP. I did talk about Survivor Marquesas, which is season 4 of Survivor. We're kind of doing every day for the next, well, I guess 40 days now or 41 days now, just to see which 3 or 4 players we would put in a lottery to, or like an audience vote to see who we want to be our master cast for season 40. So we're just kind of building season 50. So building our season 50 cast. And so we're going through every season. And I just did Marquesas, which dropped a day or 2 ago. So check that out, definitely. I was also with Mike Lewis on his podcast. He does a lot of challenge coverage. He has a lot of interviews with the challenge previous contestants. And so we did have a little bit of a chat, partly about the episode, but mostly just about our thoughts and opinions about the challenge, with like the episode being kind of our framework. So definitely check that out on the Mike Lewis podcast. And for me, so tomorrow, I think I'm going to do my best to try to put together a cast assessment for Traders season 3. So just kind of giving you an idea of what everybody that's on this cast, like where they're from, what they're going to be known for. And then you're trying to figure out how to schedule everything on whose channel, with whom, what time, all that jazz. So we're going to make it work. If you have any preferences or things that you want us to cover, for sure, let us know, because we don't want you to want something and then we decide to put it on the back burner and just watch it, not cover it. So let us know. And yes, The GOAT is good. Watch The GOAT. It's really fun.
I'm gonna watch
The Mole is also a good show.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, what's her name? My gosh, there's a girl that we know from the online gaming community that's going to be on it. Muna. So if you ever watched any Sequester during the early 2020, 2021, when there was a lot of online reality games, Muna was a really heavy mainstay in that community. She also played the live version of Sequester, the season that I was supposed to be on, but I couldn't because of COVID, just saying. And so she is going to be on the season of The Mole. So we want to definitely support, I think, the first hijab wearing mole playing contestant, which is kind of fun. So yes, please tune into all of our stuff, subscribe to all of our channels, like all of our videos, please share this with your friends, get them involved so that we can have a nice big community of people that love watching these train wrecks as much as we do. All right. So thanks again, everybody else, for hanging out with us for these last couple of hours. And subscribe, like this video, and in the comment box below, let us know who's going to get the messiest of the Messies award. Is it going to be Ronnie or is it going to be Joey? Like, who is going to be winning this battle of mess? And then out of the women, I would say between Uma, who is an excellent messy bombshell with staying clean at the same time, and Harriet, who is just messy. So let us know your thoughts on our messy kings and queens. Take care, everybody.
It's been fun. Bye.
Yes, it has been fun. Thank you. I'll put that up too. Bye.